Today, I will explain the movie's name, The Nostril Picker. 99% of people watched my video but did not subscribe to my channel. Please support me because one movie takes one day to complete. This is very hard work. Okay, sit back and relax, and subscribe please. At the beginning of the movie, we see this creepy dude, hide your kids creepy, leaning against a tree. A woman steps out of a store and hurriedly makes her way down the street, and as expected, Creepomac Creepton starts trailing this woman down the street. She stops and confronts him, and threatens that her brothers will F him up, and runs off. A police officer then turns up, and drives him off with a warning. As he walks away, hands in pocket, expecting us to feel sorry for him, he is approached by another creepy old dude who begins to tell him about a trick to turn himself into a woman, or anyone he pleases, by whistling a simple tune. Mr. Creepo heads back home to his sorry excuse of an apartment, eating beef-flavored dog food for dinner, admiring a missing girl on a milk box, probably wishing she was missing at his place, and playing with his weird cup holder. Afterwards, this dude heads out in the middle of the night, and does a whole routine. I'm sure they're making it up as they go along in this movie, like when did he learn all of this? So he finishes up the routine and checks himself, and doesn't see any difference. So he heads over to a nearby magazine store and tries to buy a magazine, only for the store clerk to call him a pretty young girl. Realizing that the trick had worked, he then heads over to a nearby park where girls are playing tennis and gawks at them, like young girls normally do. They all run over to her and ask her name. He reveals his name is Josephine to them, and the coach comes over and takes him inside. This coach should be fired. She takes a random girl and even registers her in the school without any principal's involvement. So seeing his opportunity, Josephine walks into the girls' locker room while the girls are changing, and there he sees himself in the mirror as a young beautiful teen girl. So no questions asked, Josephine begins to attend school, take tests, and all that. Like, why? You really don't have to do all of that just to be a creep. Not that I would know any better. So there is this whole montage of Josephine going to school, not really doing any perverted. I guess he could have enrolled in adult night classes if he wanted to go to school that bad. He gets invited over to a girl's house to watch a horror movie called Attack of the Cannibal Girls, which looks like I should be telling you about that instead. But here we are. He excuses himself to the bathroom and begins to whistle the tune and changes back to his creepy face. He then goes out and attacks the girl, who is either one tough filly or high on something, because she does utter a single sound. When he cuts off her fingers, the cops find the body and the girls at school begin to worry. Later that night he attacks another girl, this time apparently eating her. Damn, this movie got really dark real quick. Disguised as the teen girl, he approaches a lady of the night, and I use the term lady loosely here, and takes her back to his apartment, stating that he is bringing her home for his dad. When they get there, he removes his disguise and attacks her with a huge female toy in the sky. He then pulls on her hair and her wig comes off. Turns out it was a dude all along. They then go on this Tom and Jerry chase around the house, and the here knocks him out and reports him to the police. The police then turn up at his apartment to question him about the allegations and try to go in without a warrant. He asserts his rights as a law-breaking criminal, and the police have to go away. His mother then appears to him and tells him that he has been a very bad boy. Like, what in the actual hell is going on in this movie? Two of his victims also appear to him. He continues to pill up bodies as he uses his new trick to his advantage. He turns up to one of the scenes of his victims while the news crew are there and even get interviewed on television under the guise of the teen girl. However, while reviewing the footage later, the reporter notices that the girl he was talking to was actually a man, and the footage gets turned over to the police instead of making headlines around the world. The cops begin to put one and two together and plan to get Joe. As Joe is on his way home, he realizes that the cops are at his home. Inside, the police find a collection of girls' hairs that Joe took from his victims, with one potential the victim left. As Joe is trying to elude the cops, this stumbles into the same lady of the night, who begins to scream out. Attracting the attention of the cops, Joe kills her and runs off, and the cops give chase. They both go for a light evening jog through the city, the cop not yelling stop or anything, just enjoying the run, until Joe makes his way into a building and closes the door behind him. The cop goes in after him, and we hear a gunshot. Later the cop enters his apartment looking around, and it is quite obvious that this is Joe, who goes straight to his daughter's room to reassure her that the killer is gone. The movie tries its best to make us believe that this is the cop, but we are not fooled. He then begins to rub her hair and hum his little tune as he slowly pulls out a knife and kills her. This movie ends here. Thanks for watching.